Hey, what's going on, everybody? Kellen here, and I'm here with another work break conversation. Want to give you something that you can take and run with. And today's topic is going to be about podcasting and how to start. And there's a poll, if you check it out, there is a poll you can answer to get all your questions and everything answered if you need some help. But the reason I want to talk about podcasting is because so many people are doing it, and that you can do it and make a little bit of coin. You can make a little bit of coin. You can help sell your packages, whatnot. You can help, really introduce your business no matter what you do. From a plumber to a truck driver, you could podcast while being over the road. You could set up, I have a setup here when I do the Diversified Game podcast earlier in the morning, and I want to wake up after being up all night, doing whatever I'm doing. But you can take this lapel mic right here, right? Clip it right here to you while you're driving. Put your headphones in, and you can just go and flow all day, giving tips to truck drivers, to plumbers, to whoever, no matter what your job is. Now, the beauty of this is that it's a potential another stream of income. Yes, another stream of income that you can take, and it doesn't matter what you do. Now, there's some things that I love, and I'm going to put them in the description right here box that I love. Anchor.fm. There's others that I love, but all newbies, I would say Anchor.fm will get you where you need to get. Anchor.fm will help you not just create your content and blast it to 9+ other platforms, but it will also help you with advertisement, because Anchor already has the advertisers. Even for a small channel like mine, it will bring advertisement in, and you can track how much money you're making based on your views, based on your marketing, based on your cues, based on what you do. Everybody wants to get paid and appreciated for what they do, and that is easier than said. Is it easier said than done? Yeah, easier said than done, but maybe it's being done now easier than it said, the way that I twisted that, right? But this is something that can really get you out there. I'll tell you, small channel like mine, my personal channel, not our Diversified Game, which is a top 100 podcast that we just talk about business all day. But we even use Anchor.fm for that. But even for the small channels, people who had never heard of you, and that you can track how many plays you have, are people listening on the Anchor platform? Are they listening on iTunes? And they can really tap in. And so this just is another way for you to make some money, for you to keep the hustle going, for you to let the world know, whether you had success or if you had failures, what you did right and what you would do again. And that's what this whole work break conversation is to say, hey, you don't have to do that like that. You could go this way. To do what I do, you don't have to go to school to do what I did. I did that, and it brought value to my life in the long term. But could I have done it and taken that money and really grinded it out in the LA and the New Yorks and everything, and had as many connections? Possibly. For what I do, it's kind of guided. Education is kind of guided what I do, because it's allowed me not to just be an entertainment, which is something I didn't want to just be an entertainment. I wanted to do way more than that, and I wanted to be respected. So sometimes those degrees will help with that, but you don't have to, do that. It just depends on where you see your life. I just knew at 40 plus, I was not trying to be stuck, running around with rappers all day, because that just wasn't the business. You always want to be with some like-minded folks, and, and really learning the game, really learning the business game, that can take you from around the world. We travel globally, and what I do, I need a podcast so I can tell you how to travel globally too for a cheaper price. Travel used to be quite expensive, and if you have a family, it gets even more expensive, right? It's probably never cheap, but using podcasts, we can give you the game. We can let you know what's going on. I was talking to author, novelist Stephanie Moore out there in Georgia, and she was sharing her website and how her husband, who does radio, and he's an ex-NFL player and a funny guy from what I saw in his videos. She was saying how they wanted to start their podcast and already doing radio. And we talked like 30 minutes just about that. And then, of course, you guys know I'm Random K. It jumped into something else. And I told her, you know what? I'm probably going to podcast what I'm talking about. Because I told her, Anchor was great. He's already connected, but I had no idea who he was when I was saying. But I would say anyone who's not connected, your local chamber of commerce, your local PTAX, your local professional groups, organizations, all those things are go to those events and then podcast about them. Talk about them all day long to the audience, because there's so many times I even talk about Toastmasters to people. And, sometimes people are like, what's that? And these are people supposedly in the business, right? We talk about the NSA. People don't know what you know. So you got to let them know. But, check out the StephanieMoore.com website, because she has some bestsellers, and I really enjoyed what she did not call me to talk about podcasting, but it flipped into podcasting. And again, there's money in it, not to name drop, but there's people out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars in it, and you could be next. Hey, I could be next. We're not there yet. We're not in the six figures on podcasting, but it's coming in Jesus' name. Let that ring. So, that's that. And like what we do in Diversify the Game, we had talked about doing that for years and years. And now that we're doing it and how it's, catapulted up, and it'll stay up, God willing, it was just like, okay, we need to talk about what's happening behind the scenes. Let's podcast that. AL does it straight from the train sometimes, straight from the restaurant that, he's managing. And Tyson will do it from wherever he's at, and Tyson really takes our podcast and picks out the colors, the imaging, the clothing. Everyone can have ideas, but Tyson really puts that legwork in, and always appreciative of him. But that's the team, and I want all my team members to come on. Before we even started podcasting, I told the inner circle, like Raru, calling her out and said, come on the show. And, anyone who knows Raru out of Atlanta knows she is a little shy sometimes. Also, try to get certain people that I know, young cats, like Marcus out of Springfield. He's yet to book some time or respond, but that's that Springfield stuff. But see, on my podcast, I can talk about that, and I can call people out publicly because they know that's what I do. And if they don't like it, they'll say, man, hey, just delete me out of your Rolodex because you're talking about me. Yeah, I'm going to talk about you, and that is what it is. And, what can they do? Even if they say delete me, they know I'm still going to talk about them. That's a whole nother episode. So everybody should be podcasting. If you need help and you say, you know what, okay, I joined Anchor, but it looks like there's some technical things I need help with, that's what, and you can look and always inbox me or look at the CPR firm .as.me and book some time to talk. We also have some consulting packages where the team will sit with you, talk with your ideas. Tyson will, the way he set ours up, he'll help you set yours up. There's a fee to that, but there's nothing good in life that's free. Even love, man, that's going to cost you a headache, a good date. Just think, time, that's going to cost you. So I say all that to say, make sure you think of a podcast, answer the poll, whatnot. Don't sleep. Don't think you can't do it, because nobody is special in this Some people are just more active than others. So appreciate y'all. As always, we try to keep it short and to the point because you're busy on the go. And if you want to hear more game, just keep listening to the podcast, go into the YouTubes, the Kellen Cash, and learn what you want to do. Make some comments. As consultants, we have a vast knowledge, they say. I just say we've been around for a while. So y'all be blessed. I am out.